Good day, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of In Conversation. My name is Bongani Mncube. This is the show where we discuss wide-ranging topics within our great University of Johannesburg. And joining me today is our esteemed Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Prof Letlhokwa Mpedi. Prof, welcome to the show.
Yes, thanks for having me. It's good to chat to you again, Bongani.
Yes, Prof. Well, last year, around about this time, you were preparing to be inaugurated as the Vice-Chancellor and Principal.
That's right.
How has it been thus far?
It has been exciting. I won't lie to you. UJ, is a place to be. I liked it when you said the great University of Johannesburg, because all the time there's something great happening.
Well, can you shed light on the challenges that the university is currently facing regarding student registration and how your administration is addressing these challenges?
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges, universities in South Africa and I guess elsewhere have to deal with is the issue of study places.
Yes.
Just take the University of Johannesburg. We received around 600,000 applications for just over 10,000 study places. So you can't admit everyone. So it's something that we are dealing with almost on a daily basis. Of course, you get upset parents, upset potential students. But, the challenge is that we have to follow a fair and objective criteria in placing students.
Yes.
And also in fact, most of our programs, filled up quickly.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we have to send regret letters to potential students. That is the saddest thing that we have to deal with.
True, indeed. And of course, you've spoken glowingly about the UJ's landscape as a destination for higher learning, committed to both academic access and academic excellence. How has UJ struck balance between the two in terms of access and excellence?
Yeah. Look, as we always say, access and excellence are not mutually exclusive. And we add and say access and excellence for success. So this is something that we continue to do as the University of Johannesburg, where we provide opportunities, for academically deserving students. We give them a chance to grow. We provide a lot of measures to support students, to do well. We've got one of the biggest feeding programs in the system to support students that would otherwise go for a day without a warm meal. Yes. We continue to raise funds to support students, but the challenge is the need is huge. So we cannot provide support for every student that is deserving. But we also ensure that, our academic programs, continue to be ranked amongst the best. We invest in our infrastructure. And, it's not only about academics. We also support, our sporting teams, and you saw how well our teams are doing.
Yes.
And we will continue to do that to ensure that our students, when they leave the great University of Johannesburg, are well-rounded graduates.
Yes. And we are about to wrap up the registration period now. We have incoming students and we have the returning students.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with how everything has turned out thus far?
Yeah. Extremely satisfied. I mean, our systems are amongst the best in the sector.
Sure.
We handle 600,000 applications,
Yes.
We use technology. Of course, we're a University of the Fourth Industrial Revolution.
Yes.
You might have seen, we're piloting facial recognition to assist with our registration processes.
Yes.
We have incorporated WhatsApp, into our systems, where people can get answers within 24 hours. Chatbots and so on. So I'm really satisfied with how things have progressed. Once again, it's sad that so many of the students that would like to study with us cannot be enrolled.
Yes.
And that is a reality. We cannot admit every student that wants to study with us. We've got limited study places. But it also tells us about the need to think outside of the box. As you know, at the University of Johannesburg, we are working hard to develop what I call at the moment the digital twin of the brick and mortar university.
Yes.
That will make announcements, in the near future in terms of how that will work out. And I'm sure it will help us a lot in accommodating some of the students that cannot be accommodated by the brick and mortar university. Yeah.
As we spoke, the incoming students, first year students who are coming in for the first time, what would be your advice to them? Because it can be complex. The transitioning from high school to university environment is quite different.
No, it's tough, especially for first-time entering students,
Yes.
the first generation. Majority of our students are the first generation to come to varsity.
Yes.
So I would encourage them to please attend their first-year orientation programs.
Yes.
University of Johannesburg first-year, experience program is one of the best, to ensure
Yes.
that students get the right orientation. I would encourage them to use all sorts of services that we have in place. Like our PsyCAT, Center for Psychological and Academic Services.
Yes.
We've got one of the largest tutor programs in the country, in the sector, that they must make good use of that. And I'll advise them to enjoy their time at university, make friends, and stay away from trouble also, because coming from high school where you have people, school principals and everybody, parents, for those who didn't go to boarding schools, now they get this newfound freedom.
Yes.
They should not abuse that, this world is crazy out there,
Yes.
so we want them to be well-rounded students, to stay focused,
Yes.
but stay out of trouble and never forget why they are here at the university, And most importantly, participate in our sporting events. We've got amazing sporting programs.
True.
Stay healthy. We've got amazing gyms. Another important thing that I would encourage them to do is to participate in student activities. We've got day houses. We've got all sorts of programs.
Yes.
Exercise. We've got amazing gyms.
Yes. Yes.
Because a healthy body, is a healthy mind.
Yes.
Yeah. So they mustn't make the mistake I made. Bongani, when I first arrived at university, I was the first in my family to go to varsity. My sister went to a college, which is more or less the same institution of higher learning.
Yes.
But coming from high school,
To university.
I missed classes for 2 weeks. You know why?
Yeah.
I was waiting for the bell to ring. So I'm not lying, So they must check their timetables.
Yes.
And most importantly, just enjoy your time at varsity as students.
Wow.
It's important.
I can't get past that because in university, no one follows you around. Like in high school,
Yeah.
There's no teacher running after you to beat you up.
Yeah,
like,
go to class.
Go to class. No. Wow, Prof.
2 weeks, right?
2 weeks, and you lost all that information.
Yeah.
But hey, you did.
I had to catch up.
To catch up. Yeah. The pressure.
And I have to say this.
Yes.
Please make sure that you complete your studies on time.
On time.
Yeah, time waits for no man, we talk about limited study places. Those students that do not finish their studies on time, restrict, our ability to enroll more students. It's important for students to finish their studies on time. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And as you noted, of course, some of our students are first generation to come into university spaces. So student funding is often a problem in such families. Well, of course, last year you announced a few initiatives such as the Double Our Future Impact and the SRC Trust Fund.
Yeah.
What is the situation like this year?
Yeah. Thanks for mentioning the Double Our Future Impact fundraising initiative.
Yes.
Last year we raised around 6.3 million, and I thank everyone who helped us raise these amounts. Every cent counts, and many people will know. People who are attached to UJ will know that at UJ we've got the so-called SRC Trust Fund, which is funded to the tune of 20 million. The aim is to help students with their registration.
Yes.
It's going well. We have the debt fund again this year, and we continue to raise funds, through our Double Our Future Impact initiative.
Yes.
And those that can help support us, to support students, please, do not hesitate to contact the University of Johannesburg. We welcome every cent. Every rent that we get is the rent that we didn't have. So we continue to do that.
True.
And I lead from the front. Last year I contributed 50,000. And this year my family and I are contributing 250,000 rents. But this is for specific program to help students, with bursaries in the neurodiversity space, at master's level. And we are proud of that because we want to contribute. Unfortunately, we can't help everybody. But if we come together and work together, I'm sure we can make a difference. And I would like to thank all our sponsors for their support. It means a lot to us. Yeah.
It is indeed that. It takes a society to
Yeah,
raise a child.
that's right. Yeah.
Each and every hand counts.
Yeah.
Oh, impressive, Prof. And I just want to take it back to my earlier question
Yes.
of your term this far. As you reflect, I know we are a university that accomplishes a lot of things.
That's right, yeah.
But I wish you know which ones, maybe two, your favorite accomplishments that we have as the University of Johannesburg at this point.
Look, the biggest is that, remember when I came in around this time, a lot of people were saying, oh, there's a lot happening, in terms of transition, new vice-chancellor, new chancellor, new chair of council, new registrar, new deputy vice-chancellor academic, and so on. Something that I'm really proud of, as a university is that, the transition, was managed, in the true UJ way, which was seamless, and we continued to thrive as a university. You wouldn't tell, I guess, that there's a new vice-chancellor. You wouldn't guess there's a new registrar. You wouldn't guess that there's a new DVC academic, deputy vice-chancellor academic. So I'm really grateful for the support, the hard work of the UJ community, and the entire stakeholder community, and our friends, and alumni of the university. That is one thing that I'm really, proud of. And the second thing is that, the university continues to excel and will continue to excel. You look at the rankings, which is one way of assessing the university's performance. We continue to grow. And many other areas, where, we see the UJ academics, students continue to excel, So UJ is really an exciting place. There's always something exciting that is happening that you cannot ignore. If you ask me, all in all, am I happy about where we are as an institution? Most definitely. When I came in, UJ was rising, and UJ continues to rise. And I can assure you, UJ will continue to rise and thrive. And people make this mistake of thinking because new vice-chancellor, almost a year, they forget that some of us have been with UJ for many years, from the Rao days. So, we continue to excel, and UJ is the university to watch.
And in us continuing to rise, Prof, are there any initiatives probably that are upcoming for this academic year, and how do you envision them impacting the University of Johannesburg community?
One of the big things, if I could call it that, or initiatives, something to be on a lookout for, which is one of the things that I'm proud of, is remember the UJ Strategic Plan 2025 is coming to an end, and that strategy served us very well where we are, largely because of the hard work of everyone involved, but also of a good strategy. Last year, the Council of the Great University of Johannesburg approved the UJ Strategic Plan 2035. So this year we'll start, with the rolling out process, and then introducing it to the UJ community members, and the stakeholder community, and then launch it also during the course of this year, something to be on the lookout for. Another important point is that work will continue on the development of the digital twin of the brick and mortar campus. And a lot of other exciting, initiatives in the academic space, in the research space. We're going to launch this year the Rescue Center, if I could just pick one, which is at our Doornfontein campus. Is the only one on the African continent and one of the few in the world. Where, our emergency services colleagues can simulate sea rescue, storms and everything. They can simulate a collapsed building and rescue people. We need that, and UJ is the only one on the African continent to have such a facility. It cost us an arm and a leg, but I'm proud of that building, and I'm proud of the great work that will be done there. So I can talk on and on about this. We're also going to continue with societal impact. Remember, we always say everything that we're doing, including, in the technology space, for IR space, we're going to make sure that it impacts the community, the society positively.
Interesting. Well, that's so amazing, Prof,
Yeah,
to actually hear.
yeah.
Well, in a macro perspective, of course, South Africa is celebrating 30 years
That's right.
of
Yeah.
democracy.
Mhm.
And how do you see us as UJ
Yeah.
playing a role
Yeah.
in the ongoing efforts to grow
Yeah.
economy and improve people's lives, of course?
Yeah, I'll tell you, watch this space. UJ is going to feature, through and through throughout the year, celebrating this 30 years of democracy. But one thing that people should remember is that there's a lot of expertise at UJ. Academic, intellectual talent that we'll have is going to play an important role in reflecting on what have we achieved as a country,
Yes.
how far we've come, what are the gaps, what are the challenges,
Yes.
and how can we improve, for the next 30 years. And this is what any university that is worth the name should be doing in South Africa at this space, and in the world, to ensure that, the intellectual capital that we have is used, to improve the lives of ordinary people out there. Yeah.
Yes.
And in the case of our 30 years, of democracy, UJ will feature highly in terms of bringing the intellectual capital that we have, to bear in terms of, as I said, how far we've come, what are the challenges, what have we learned, what can we do better to take our great nation forward. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Prof, in closing, I'd like to open up the platform in case I forgot or left a question that is important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, one thing that I would say is that UJ, is a university with amazing men and women that believe in what we're doing, that believe that access and excellence are not mutually exclusive. Gone are the days where an institution, should go there and say, look at how exclusive we are.
Yes.
It's now about inclusivity. How do we transform lives of ordinary people that would otherwise be left, alone at villages and all sorts of places?
Yes.
Another thing, sustainability, is extremely important. We have to look well after our environment. Climate issues remain important, and we're going to continue to do our best to contribute in our own small ways. 15% of our power comes from solar. We're going to increase that. You know that we run electric buses. We're going to increase the number of those electric buses.
Yes.
You know that, we are at the forefront of, sustainable, or in terms of, we're at the forefront, in terms of our contribution towards the realization of sustainable development goals. We're going to continue to do that. As you know, we are ranked number 1 in the world in terms of our contribution to SDG 1, which is about no poverty. That is what universities should be doing. Number 6 in the world in terms of our contribution towards SDG 8, about decent work. That is what universities should be doing, and we're going to continue to do that.
Thank you
and
so much.
thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah.
I really got to learn more about the institution than I thought. Yes. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today's episode. My name is Bongani Mpedi, and I was talking to our esteemed Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Prof Letlhokwa Mpedi. See you on the next episode.
The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.